Okay, so now we're on our seat swivels, came from Germany just now, and they're pretty cool. I've already put the base on here, and like that, so it swivels around like that. It's lifting this this bar right there, and it locks into place. And this is off center, so the side of the chair doesn't hit into the door as it swivels around, whereas other ones are centered and they will hit the door as they swivel around. So, and back up a little bit. And so it comes with this because you have to relocate the emergency brake. It comes with this little thing, and you can see right here I've already put on halfway. This top one is where these two holes are. Can you get these holes? These two holes usually go into here with these bolts, right? And the problem with that is the seat is now, the swivel is going to actually hit into right here, and it won't allow this to turn. So you have to lower down this thing, and that requires this mounting bracket right here. So the original mounting holes right here, these two places would join right here, and it lowers it down so they join into here, and lowers it down just enough for this thing to clear. Unfortunately, on most models, even it says in this instructions here, which half are in German, and you have to drill out these holes. They're not properly aligned. So we have our different types of drilling. We drilled this out already. You can see it's in place with this. And then this one is also not properly aligned, and you have to drill this out. So we just hammered on this and drilled and pushed into the center a little bit to get this to, and this, here's your two fittings. You might want to take off the electrical before you screw with anything, keep the ignition off. And this just pops out of place. You pull it up, you stick your hand up underneath here. What you're doing is you're looking for this little nipple right here. This little nipple goes through that little hole. Don't want to bust that off. So it doesn't have any clips or anything. If you can get a close up on that, you just kind of pry it off with your fingers, wiggle it while it's under there, and then the whole thing just comes off. That's it. And so now we're going to put this on, and now in the instructions, so I've already drilled out these holes because these don't line up correctly, and you can't drill out. You're like, why the hell did you drill out your vehicle? Why didn't you drill out the mounting? Because that's where the threaded in here, so you can't, you know, drill it out because it's threaded. So anyway, we're going to line this up here, and then the instructions tell you to go down up under the vehicle. If you can see that, where this line goes all the way down, and then it splits up into the two lines of your brakes, your emergency brake for rear two wheels, and you have to adjust those nuts to take up any slack that's in here. I went down there, I didn't have any slack, so I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Mine was just fine as it was, but I just, you know, gave it a little test to make sure everything was good. And now we're going to hope that these line up this time. Yeah, they line up now. Before they wouldn't screw in because that silly bracket is all whacked out. It must be for like a previous model, as it says on the instructions, for 07 and newer. This is 2016. So now we put that in. Need to get a new ratchet. Put a little bit too much torque on this for its own good. Too many times. Like that. Okay, and that looks good. And this is now on there. And you can always go in there and redo it. The only problem, as you can see here, is when your emergency brake is on, your seats aren't going to swivel. So that's that problem. And there, if you look online, you can find some people who've developed a system of grinding out these, you know, things to making it drop all the way down. So it starts in the position down by the floor, and not going to play with that. Right now, at least. I can always do that later. Now we're just getting things going. I'm going to pop this guy back on and put this little thing right here back through the nipple right here. Well, first we'll put on electric. It'll be easier. You know, electric. And you're like, well, how do you know which one's which, right? Next logical question. One's wider, that one's thinner. Goes on the thinner one, like that. And this one's wider. Goes on the wider one back here, like that. Otherwise, the wires are exactly the same. They're both brown with a white stripe, as far as I can see. Now, it looks like one has a white stripe, one doesn't. They're both brown. And that's it. Line your little nipple up, female to male, and shove that through, like that. And this pops into place. Like that. There we go. Now it goes in. First, it looks like you have to line it up, and then pop that little thing up in the center. All right. And now this, get all of our tools out of the way. And again, I already put this top piece on. You have to cut a hole through this. If you look at this one right here, like that, it's back here on both of these. This little thing right here. Cut a hole. You line this up, trace it, pull it off, and cut a hole about right there where the thing is. You know, so that, because now it's not back here, this thing, you put it right in the center so these can come up through that foam piece right here. And if you look over here, you'll see you still kind of need that foam piece, because otherwise junk or whatever will fall down through this hole right there in your mounting plate and get into all your electrical stuff that goes up underneath the driver's seat. And so now we're going to put on our front seat here, and we have this has airbags in it, and so we're going to plug these in. It has airbags right here. You can see it has a little tag, which is a useless extra in my opinion, that they charge you lots of money for. And just plug these guys up. Okay, so now the swivels are installed. This piece right here, this trim piece, needs to be trimmed. Otherwise, see, you have it, if it goes down and you activate the swivel, it'll get all hung up on the thing. So you have to go all the way up if you don't want to trim this trim board, which doesn't have any function besides aesthetics. And you lift the swivel and spin around. Pretty cool. And there's no locking in place anywhere except for on the front. That just lifts up like that, which I don't like the system back here. There should be a lock right there in my opinion, but I'd probably wind up welding something down here. And if you look at that, it just forces itself over that lip, which is kind of sketchy in my opinion. I'll probably weld on another sheet right there with a hole in it, just some flat disc or something like that of steel later with a hole that will fall into to prevent sideways pressure on this item, because it's gonna wear out eventually. But anyway, everything a good time, and like that. And then the cool thing, this all comes forward out like this, all the way back, you know. And then once I trim that lip, I won't have to lower it up and down like this. And you can see my feet don't really touch the ground off here. I'm 6'2", or 3 or something like that. And then you can, and also the steering wheel, if you lower the steering wheel all the way down, then you can put this back all the way and you know, take a little nap, chill. I'm happy with them. And that off-centered hole down here, we want to lift it up, because if you look right here, show right here, if you look right here, back up so they can get a good angle. If you look right here, now it's down. If I were to try to swivel around, it's gonna seriously jam up on both sides right here. Totally jammed. Also, you have to lift up the back of the seat or it jams up on the steering wheel. So once I trim these, it doesn't swivel when it's back like this. It hits into the door right there when you're all the way in the back position. So you pull it forward, it looks like, to get it to swivel around. And yeah, see, I'm hitting the trim piece right now. I'm gonna have to trim that off, and then it locks into place. And emergency brake up. When the emergency brake is up, it will not swivel. So that's something to consider. And like that, it does have a plate right here if you want to look around the side. This is part of the swivel base, this black part right here. And it comes with a bolt, but I don't like the bolt. If you look down there on the floor by your left hand, Chandra.
This bolt?
Yeah, that bolt is what it comes with, but that's not automotive grade steel. It's softer steel than this, so I used one of these automotive grade steel bolts that I got from the store. And that's optional, you don't have to put it down there, but if you don't put it down there, the seat belt's going to be in the normal mounting spot right here, and it's going to go around, it's going to wrap around the back of the swivel, and and go around all the way with you and wrap around with you, attached to the thing. So I decided to mount there so that doesn't happen. Alright, so those are your swivels. They're available from I forgot where. There's 3 different places. They're about $200 to $300. Parts Depot or something like that, and I think E-Trailer sells them. And Euro Campers, they pretty much have the best rate. They have this model. There's 2 or 3 different models. These ones are really incredibly heavy duty and strong. I'm kind of happy with them. They come with this weird relocating hardware that isn't properly aligned for the 2016, and pretty much everybody on the internet complains that same thing. You have to, you know, drill it out like, you know, crazy with all types of, you know, whatever. And that's it. Yay. Okay, so now we're all done. You see here these shreds on the ground from I had to trim this board off right here so it would clear everything. See it just now. This is in the lowest position that this can go in, so it can go up higher. You can raise it up. But this is in the lowest position now. Doesn't go any lower than that. You can see the clearance. Just trim that up. To the other side, also trim that up right there. So it just slips right into place. So I just trimmed off the edge of that. Here's wherever the pieces are. I don't know, anywhere. Oh, here the pieces are right here. I just trimmed that off. And originally I used a pair. I tried to use this. That was a mistake. Don't try to cut them off with scissors or any type of cutting device. Razor blades don't work. This is serious business here. It's really thick, you can see right there. So what I used is a grinder. Yay. And it shoots hot, burning shards of stuff, like you can see all over my shirt, everywhere. I need to clean off the wall here. But anyway, and when I originally made my mistake of cutting it on this side here, I had cracked it. See if we can get a light on that. You can see that crack right there. You can barely see the crack right there. You can just barely see it right there. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube. But anyway, so then what I did is I got my handy dandy soldering tool, which is also, I put my little welding thing on and turned that on and heated that up and used a piece of this stuff. And for all you know about plastic welding, pretty simple. Heat it up on the back there. Can we get this? Where do we get here? And then I just melted that back together and patched it up with a piece of this, pieces of that. And you can see on the inside it did a really good job. And now that, let me see if we can get light up on there again. All that, all this is, that's solid in there, reinforced. It ain't going nowhere. All you do is you get your piece of material, same material, like, you can only bond like to like, and cut it to the right piece and put it in there. Get your soldering thing, and melt it. Oops, I can't see. Okay, melt it on there. Put it all on there like that. Melt it in, reinforce it, double it up so it's really pretty thick now. Well, you can't really see, but anyway, like that. And so don't use one of those to cut your your seats off. Use one of these to trim up your seats, or don't lower them down all the way. But I want to lower them down all the way. I want to have all my functionality. I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to have my chairs and swivel them also. And I think I got these at well, I can't remember the name of the website, but yeah, and you can see the clearance right here just barely clears everything, and it rolls on these nylon rollers here, and your fittings go right through the center here. They go right through that hole, and I'm pretty happy with them. And mounting this, I chose to mount these here on that bracket. That works good. I'm happy. Waiting for the other one. They come from Germany, so we're waiting for the passenger side now. And it's not that much time. The main thing is adjusting this silly emergency brake. And when the emergency brake is up, you ain't gonna swivel that seat. It ain't gonna swivel. So whatever. I heard there's a way to do it so it does swivel. And this thing will relocate so it faces down, but I think that's actually only on the older models. I'm not sure how to do that myself. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like the video.